everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing an uncomfortable questions Q&A. I asked you all over on my Instagram to ask me some really uncomfortable and weird questions, and I know you all will deliver. So while I wait for those questions to roll in, I am going to also show you what else I'll be doing in today's video. Now, this is in no way sponsored. This is just something that I like to do. I am an avid fan of snack and candy subscription boxes, and I recently subscribed to Snack Crate, and again, this is not sponsored. They don't know I exist. I like truly just enjoy this, and I feel like if you're going through this like whole pandemic depression, having something like this is a nice way to cheer yourself up and give you kind of something stupid to look forward to. So, you know, every time I get these in my mailbox, I'm like, yay, I get so excited, and I get like really excited to see which country it's gonna be. And honestly, the past couple boxes have been, they've been okay. But as soon as I saw India, I was like, oh my God, I know it's gonna be good. I love Indian food. I feel like India is gonna have the most flavorful, delightful snacks. So I'm really, really excited to open up this Snack Crate. I don't get the gigantic one because I'm a family of one, and I'm trying to eat mindfully, you know, and not like a total garbage can. I already opened this when I first got this box because I couldn't help myself. I love masala flavor, so I had one chip. I still have some left, and I'm gonna eat it again. So yeah, I'm just gonna go through all of these things, let you know what I think, and I'm gonna be answering some questions. I look quite interesting today, I must say. All right, let's get on with the Q&A and see what uncomfortable questions you guys have for me. You said you wouldn't do long distance again, but what about for a Canadian? We're really nice. Okay, so as far as a Canadian goes, I think that might be the only situation in which I would do long distance dating. Personally, I love Canada. It is a place I could maybe see myself moving to part-time temporarily. I like their politics. I like that they have free healthcare. I feel like it's a very progressive country. I feel like people up there are just friendlier in general, and the culture I love. Like, I love maple syrup. That's pretty much their culture, right? I'm just kidding. I know it's more than that. I know it's also hockey. Anyway, okay, I'm gonna try this. But yeah, I mean, Canada's actually not too far from me. They taste like spicy red pepper chips. I don't really get an overwhelming amount of masala flavor. They are quite spicy. I mean, they're delicious. These are bomb, and if these were available in stores here, I would get them. Super good. But yeah, Canada's not too far from Connecticut. I actually used to go up to Quebec all the time when I was younger. I used to go party in Montreal, and if I really loved somebody up in Canada, I would make it work, right? Like every other week or every 2 weeks, I could visit them, they could visit me. So yeah, I think I could make it work. I think it's a different story if this person lived in like British Columbia, because that's very, very far. But if the person lived in like Toronto, Quebec, maybe even Nova Scotia, I would maybe, yeah, it just depends on how much I like the person. But you know, you don't really pick and choose who you fall in love with. Like, you might fall in love with somebody that lives across the world, and you really can't help it. So even though I say I don't want a long distance relationship, like, no one really knows what's in store for them, for me. All right, next up, okay, I'm really excited about this. This is thumbs up. There is literally no description for this at all, so I don't know what this is. It is made by the Coca-Cola company, so I'm going to go ahead and guess that this is going to taste like Coca-Cola. And I also find it interesting how they spelled thumbs up wrong. Was that a creative choice, or was that simply a spelling error? Wow, that is so good. It's like a cola, but it's like a little bit fruitier, lighter, less syrupy. Wow, dare I say that I actually think I might like this better than Coca-Cola. Next question is, do you regret doing 90 Day Fiance? I try to live my life without any regrets, because I kind of feel that everything happens for a reason. And I think that while it was really challenging and hard, and you know, I've rewatched the show a couple of times, and I can quite honestly say, like, I don't like the person I saw on TV. So it almost comes as no surprise to me when other people dislike me, because I'm like, yeah, honestly, if I were to like take myself out of my body and watch that girl on television, I'd probably fucking hate her too. But I think most of us can feel that way about certain things we've done in our lives, except we don't have to rewatch it on national television. So yeah, that was definitely one of my not so greatest moments in my life. I was going through a lot emotionally, mentally, physically. You know, I had gained weight, I was insecure, I was dealing with depression, anxiety, and I was having a huge switch in my medications, and I honestly probably wasn't in the best place to be doing the show, but I somehow in the beginning tricked myself into thinking that it would be fine, that it would be okay, and that I was safe, and that this relationship that I had was strong enough to withstand whatever happened. And somewhere along those lines, that all got fucked up. Like, you think that you can control a situation, but the situation ended up controlling us, I think, because I can only speak for myself, but I got really swept up in the whole reality TV aspect of it. And yeah, it was not good. But all I can say is that, like, for me, would I say the good outweighed the bad? I don't know. I think a lot of it was bad. I think most of it was bad, especially the backlash that I received. I was one of the most disliked people on the season, and the amount of hate and shit I got online was extremely tolling on my mental health, but it forced me to reflect on myself as a person in a way I've never done before, and I think that was really good for me in a way. It was like a swift kick in the ass. So anyway, all right, the next thing that I'm gonna be trying is Laban Bravo Orange. Oh, it says stretchy man. Oh my God, you can stretch him. The next question is, what are your biggest flaws? Okay, let's see. There are so many, but this is interesting. Oh my gosh. Magic's pineapple. So these look like pineapple biscuits. This is probably going to be amazing. I can already sense the pineapple. Like, the moment it hits your lips, you're like, pineapple. Biggest flaw, I think, is that I'm super stubborn and I don't take other people's advice. And sometimes I don't hear people out. And I will sometimes focus on my perspective in a situation and not really try to understand where another person's coming from. So a lot of the time, it's like me, it's about me. And sometimes I feel like I do need a reality check and understand that my reality is not somebody else's. That is one of my biggest flaws. And I think the second big flaw for me is I am overly judgmental. My mother has this quality. She has these like ice cold Eastern European eyes, and when she's looking at you and you're talking, you can kind of just like tell what she's thinking. You could tell that she's judging you, and I've inherited that quality as well. So yes, I'm a judgy bitch. By the way, there's been a power outage. There's no power in my house right now. Next question is, do you like older men? And before we get into the question, let's try these kurkure chili chaka Cheeto looking things. I have dated older men before. I've been in age gap relationships where the partner was 14, 15 years older than me. The only problem that I find with that is that the older the person, the more stubborn and set in their ways I think that they are. I feel like they're more likely to become like career bachelors in a way. Do I like this? So this tastes like a tangy hot Cheeto with a curry undertone. Very spicy, but I really like it. I think that my age range goes up to like 45, 46. Anything older than that, I don't know. I guess it becomes kind of tricky. If the person is young at heart, if the person takes good care of themselves, then I can maybe consider it, but that's a really big age gap. And it's weird because I do actually relate to older people so much better because I consider myself an old soul. I like older movies, I like older music. I feel like I relate to that generation so much more. Anytime I've dated a 40-year-old man, especially a 40-year-old man that's never been married, I feel like there's always some kind of like fatal flaw, but I can relate to that as well. I'm, you know, a 30-year-old woman who lives alone and has been single for almost 2 years. And I think that is probably due to some serious fatal flaws in my character. So, you know, there's definitely something about me that makes me difficult to date. You know, age doesn't matter. Again, age, location, doesn't matter. I would rather date somebody who is 50 than somebody who's 25. I cannot date younger. I will not date younger any longer. Anybody under the age of like 30, 31, I will not date. It simply is just not a thing that's ever going to happen ever again. Even on my dating app, I have it set to like 30 and over. And when I match with people who are 30, I'm like, I don't know about that. Because I'm 30 and I feel like, okay, well, I just want to date somebody who's older, who is maybe even more mature than me, and who is definitely somebody that is established, like, you know, is a homeowner, has a good job, has their shit together, because I have pulled the weight of so many people in relationships. I don't want to be the breadwinner anymore. I want to be an equal. Okay, next one. This one looks weird and it kind of looks crushed and it has a child on it. Interesting. I feel like every culture has some kind of cookie or candy that has a child's face on it, like Kinder, and there was this one that was like a Russian chocolate bar that had a kid on it. So interesting choice. I feel like I'm eating this child. It tastes delicious. It's buttery. Anyway, okay, next up we have Fab Jammin'. And okay, so I'm guessing this is, ooh, it's a black currant cookie. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be so good. Let's see what else you guys asked me. One is, how many times a week do you like sex? And then the next question is, when was the last time you had sex? So this is apparently a very, very tantalizing question. People just want to know how sexually active I am. And I have been celibate for 2 years now. And I am perfectly okay with that. I am very happy with that decision. And I don't really seek out sexual encounters with people, because I would much rather seek out a more mentally stimulating encounter with somebody. Like, I really miss connecting with somebody on a really like deep level. That makes me want to be physical with them. And I haven't had that in a really long time. You know, like a person that you could just stay up till fucking 4 a.m. with, talking about your childhood, talking about each other's trauma. Like, when I get to that level with somebody where I feel like I can share everything with them, that's kind of when I want to jump on them. Makes me wonder if that person's out there. But anyway, let's try this jam cookie. No one will be jamming anything in me for a while, so might as well eat this jam cookie. These are blazing. Next question is, how do you manage living alone emotionally after your stalker experience? So I managed living alone emotionally quite well. I do have an extremely good security system. I am friends with the police in this town, and I have notified my neighbors. So I feel protected, I feel safe, I don't really live in fear. Okay, so the next thing I'm gonna be trying is another Fab biscuit, but this one is bourbon, so I guess this is gonna have like more of an alcoholic flavor. Next question is from Greta Taylor. Are you voting? If so, for who? So this is going to be quite an uncomfortable question. That is definitely an uncomfortable question, especially in this day and age. Chocolatey, very crispy. Honestly, I don't love it. It's gonna be a no for me. I've held back a lot politically on my YouTube channel, on my Instagram, because there is so much tension in this country right now, and it is all due to this like political divide we have. And I'm friends with a lot of people who are Republican. I'm friends with a lot of people who are Democrat, who are independent, and I love all those people. It's hard to voice my opinions because people can get so intense and heated, and it can ruin friendships, relationships, family relationships. The only place on the internet where I really am vocal about my political thoughts is Twitter. Twitter is kind of like my soundboard where I just like bitch about everything. The thing is, I support a woman's right to choose. I am a feminist, and I guess what you would consider a liberal and a progressive, which is something that is very unlike anyone in my family, because most of my family members are Republican, very conservative, and my mother's side of the family in Czech Republic does tend to lean more conservative as well. And you know, they live in Czech Republic, there isn't a lot of diversity, and you know, they say that Czech Republic is very friendly towards LGBT people, but that's not the case in a lot of parts of Czech Republic. I am not a socialist, but I don't think that healthcare is a commodity. It is a basic human right, and I think that everyone should have access to a certain degree of healthcare that is compensated by our tax-paying dollars. I don't think that people should have to worry or open up GoFundMes anytime there's a medical issue. You know, a lot of my family members are voting Trump. I am not. I am settling for Biden. He's not my first choice. I'm not going to shame, berate, or knock down anybody who chooses to vote for Trump. I have friends who are voting for him. I truly hope that the same can be done for me, and that any Republican or Trump voter who is watching me isn't going to be mean and nasty in the comments. You know, this is a free country. We're all allowed to have our own beliefs and our own thoughts, and those are just mine. I'll respect yours. Please respect mine. That was scary, because anytime anybody talks about politics, it's kind of terrifying. But whatever, you know, I'm open about everything, and that's one of the things that I'm gonna be open on. And like, let's be honest, did anybody really think that I was gonna be a Trump supporter? I mean, anyway, so next thing is Bujiasev. I have no idea what this is. It is a Bikaner spicy extruded fried India snack. Okay, this looks very, very authentic. There's like these little tiny rice things, and then there's these things mixed in. I'm waiting for the hot and spicy to kick in. Do I love it? Do I hate it? No. It's pretty good, actually. Ooh, it is spicy. Oh, wow. Oh, ow. You know when you walk into an Indian restaurant and you kind of get like punched in the face with that Indian flavor and that Indian smell? It's like if you concentrated that and put it in that bag, like, whew. This just looks like a chocolate covered wafer. I know this is gonna be good. There's no way this could be bad. I've had chocolate wafers that are better. It doesn't really taste like Cadbury chocolate. It's not like super creamy like Cadbury chocolate is, but it's good. I feel like that would make a nice snack. Next question, what is your favorite thing about OnlyFans? So as you guys know, I am quite active on OnlyFans. I'm one of the top creators on the platform. I have made an extremely good living off of not just OnlyFans, but years of doing Patreon, pretty much doing similar content on Patreon since 2016. But this year I made the full jump over to OnlyFans, and I've definitely stepped up my game as far as content goes. I think my content's way better than it used to be. I guess the one thing that I like is the effect it has had on my relationship with myself and my body. I feel like ever since I've started doing it, I've become so much more confident in myself. I'm so much more self-assured. I doubt myself much less. Like, it's given me financial freedom, security, and the ability to focus on doing other things that I love. So obviously OnlyFans isn't the only thing in my life that I do. I have other passions. I'm working on a documentary. I'm working on my second book. I'm constantly trying to just expand creatively. So this is a way for me to pay my bills and to save for the future, while also giving me the time and financial freedom to pursue other things that may not be lucrative. So I love OnlyFans. I know that it comes with a lot of downfalls, one of which is people judging you and looking at you differently. But if that's going to be the worst thing that comes out of doing it, then so be it. I mean, that's really not that big of a negative for me. People have judged me when I wasn't doing it, and people will continue to judge me if I ever stop. So, you know, people will judge you no matter what. Next thing, Rola Cola, the solid cola. I love cola flavor. It's a little black hard candy. Wow, that's a lot of cola flavor. That is delicious. That is something that I think I would eat if I was craving something sweet but didn't want to eat anything big or substantial. This is called Poppins Mazzello fruit flavored rolls. Let's put it in our mouths. I'm getting an orange one. That's the first one that pops up. And let's answer one more question. What's the most awkward dating situation you've gotten yourself into? I was dating a married woman. So as you guys know, I also had my own dating a married man story. I talked about this a lot years ago on my YouTube channel, and I even wrote about it in my first book. It was a horrible experience. I did not know that this person was married. And now I kind of pick up on the red flags fairly easily. So I always kind of know when something's sketchy or shady. And the thing with me is when I see a red flag, I don't acknowledge it to the person. I don't say anything. I literally just walk away. I don't text them ever again. I never text them back. I just move on with my life because I just don't feel the need to continue in that situation. I haven't really had any awkward dating experiences lately. I've been on a few dates, and honestly, a lot of the time, like, me and the person just end up going out on a date and then never talking again. And I'm kind of okay with it. I'm a person who doesn't really like to reach out. I don't really text first, which is definitely probably a problem. So a lot of the time, like, if somebody doesn't pursue me heavily, it'll just fall apart because I don't put anything into relationships, which is, I'm not saying that's good, that's bad. But I think it's because I have an extremely awful fear of being rejected. So a lot of the time, like, if a person just like stops talking to me or stop texting me, I just try to like forget about it and move on, and I'll never text them again because I'm too afraid to like reach out and ask what happened or what's wrong, because I'm too afraid of like actual rejection. It is one of my biggest fears, is to be like rejected like that. So I never try to develop feelings for somebody in a risky way. Does that make any sense? Okay, and then the next candy, well, the last candy, it's called Mango Bites. That one is the best one. I will say, there wasn't a lot of chocolate here. It was a lot of crisps, cookies, and a lot of chips and curry and spicy flavored stuff, but I really liked everything. Everything was really good. I'm pleasantly surprised. This was my lunch for today. But yeah, thank you guys so much for joining me for this Q&A and for me trying all of these fun little Indian snacks. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Please make sure to like the video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and my OnlyFans as well as my free OnlyFans will be linked down below. So go check that out, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.